Hi, this is Dimitri Bilgir with today's facilitation tip. And today's is a little bit like a follow-on of my last one that I did Friday about, I kind of got into that about how I'm sick of seeing people die. I went to the third memorial service I've been to on, was it Saturday? Um, this is for a guy who was 61 years old. And I'm going to talk some about death and health in this video, and I want to start being particularly clear about one thing, which is that I'm not blaming people for dying when they die. I know that you can do everything right with your health and still fall over dead. So it's not a question of, oh, you should have done everything the way that Dimitri said to do it and you wouldn't have died. Because who knows, right? We're going to die when we're going to die. But at the same time, I feel like it's incumbent upon us as people to take care of our health, to take the best care of our health that we can, so that we don't have undiagnosed diabetes and metabolic syndrome and obesity and all this other stuff that seems to be causing so much trouble and really is implicated in the deaths of three of my friends who I can think of in the not too distant past. So I want to talk here some, because this is something that in our healing work we so rarely address this, right? One of my friends who died, right? He, at, in my opinion, a young age, in his 60s. I had gone to him and said, hey, look, you seem really overweight. You seem out of shape. I'm a coach. You got tons of money. Why don't we work together so that you can get past the emotional blocks that are keeping you from taking better care of your health so you can be healthier? He said, nope, everything's fine. And then he died, right? And who knows, maybe he would have died anyway. Like I said, you're going to die when you're going to die. I'm not saying if people had done everything I said, they wouldn't die. But I am saying that, like I said before, I think we have an obligation, if we really care, to be there for the people who we care about. If we really have missions that we want to project out into the world, then I think it's easier to do that stuff if you're alive. And so I think it's incumbent upon us, especially those of us who are all about looking at our issues, to actually look at the issues that we have that prevent us from doing what it takes, or even discovering what it takes to be healthy, and then doing what it takes to be healthy and vibrant. I know that in the men's movement, there are so many men and men in leadership positions who are not in good physical condition. They have worked so many of their emotional issues with their dad and with their mom and with their past and all this other stuff, but they haven't worked the emotional issues that are preventing them from going for truly being fit. And it is emotional issues that are stopping us. If we do not have the fitness that we want, and if we are living lives where we have the freedom to actually create that, right? I was talking to a guy recently who I've known for 30 years now, right? I did the New Warrior Weekend with him. And we were both I'm heavier than I want to be right now, though I've lost a bunch of weight. He's heavier than he wants to be. We said, in our lives, we actually are men who could make changes. We could. There's nothing structurally. We're not working 60 hours or 80 hours a week. We actually could make changes to our diet and lifestyle. So why aren't we? And I think about so many, especially the men I know, who are in these leadership positions and helping other men, and they're not healthy, and I'm getting tired of it because I'm seeing them die. And this is really bad. So, okay, so I touched on this in the last video, but I want to talk about, if you're helping somebody with health issues, what does that actually look like? And, and I do this as a coach with people, and this is the process that I take them through. So there's a couple of things you have to work on when you're working with health issues with people. One is that it turns out that different people need different things at different times in their life. So when I look back on all the different things I've done for my health, I think all of the ones I've stuck with have improved me and gotten me to the next level. Every single time I feel like every human being on earth should do this. We tend to get the answer is do the thing I want you to do. But it really, be macrobiotic or go ketogenic or be vegan or whatever it is, right? But really, the first thing that we have to do when we're going to say, I don't like what my body's turned into, is not only do we have to do something disciplined, we have to figure out what that is. Different people need different things at different times. So you have to actually spend time figuring out what's right for you right now. You have to actually do some research. You have to look into it. And so we have to help people get to the point where what you do is you look at all the different options out there, and one or more of them will seem like a good idea to you. I always say to people that one of them will feel like it has light around it, and that's probably the one you should investigate first. So you start looking into, like, what do I want to do? What makes sense? Like, I was at a workshop, and I met a guy, and he started telling me about ketogenic diet and fasting. And I'd heard about those things before, but I had been doing a different thing. And I heard about that, and there was light around it this time. So I started looking into it. But what's going to stop us? We have to look into it. And secondly, we have to actually do it. Well, the thing is, I don't know about you, I don't want to do either of those things. And the big reason that people don't want to do those things is because they think it will be pointless, right? How many of us have tried to lose weight and have not been able to do it? And so it's like, great, I put a lot of effort in, I put a lot of time in, maybe I took money in and I failed anyway, and now I'm even fatter than I was. Right? You do that a few times, you're going to be like, you know what, I'm better off just leaving that part of the woods alone and not doing that stuff. But the problem with that is, you're courting illness. And so what we have to help people with is getting past their sense of discouragement and their sense that no matter what they do to change their health, it won't make any difference, because that, my friends, is what stops everybody from getting to where they want to go. It isn't that they don't know what to do, although usually we don't, but it's that we know that I could try to improve my health, but ultimately I'm just going to end up screwing it up anyway, so why should I even do it? I've been there. I absolutely have been there. And I know that's what stops most of us. So here's what we do. If we're working with somebody who wants to change their health, who wants to actually figure out the way to maybe like lose the weight and start exercising or do whatever to become that healthy, vibrant person who can be there for their grandkids and push their mission out into the world and just be happier and more energetic. The first thing we have to help them do is actually acknowledge what it is they want. Right? So many like leaders in the men's movement and stuff who are really overweight and in my judgment unhealthy. It's not that they no longer even know that they want to be more fit because they've given up on it so much. So we have to help them and ease them in first. And I've done some videos on how to help people discover what they want. But the truth is, my heart really does want to be healthy. It really does. I don't want to be overweight like this. I don't want to be low energy. I don't want to have diabetes. I don't want to have all these problems that I'm having. I don't want to have the joint pain, whatever it is. So we have to help them acknowledge that that's what they want, which can be hard to do. But once they've acknowledged, yeah, you know what, I really do want to be healthy, they will get in touch with the thing that makes them discouraged, and that is, yeah, probably will be, but I've tried so many times and failed. Because what happens to us in life, right? All healing work, in my opinion, is about this. It's about discovering who we become in the face of the circumstances that have stopped us from getting to where we want to go. So they say, look, I have tried a bunch of times. I've seen a lot of people try a bunch of times. I've failed every time. It's been really hard. It's been really difficult, and it's been really pointless. So in the face of that, they sort of turn and step into a dark world, and they start believing they're better off not trying. I will give up. And the way that giving up shows up is I've given up, and I'm just going to make the best of the body I've got for as long as I have. Well, that's fine. If that's what your heart really truly longs for, if that's how you really truly long to live, then go ahead and do that. But it probably isn't. Probably in your deepest heart, you actually do want to be fit. And man, you got to face this like, holy smoke, everything I've done hasn't worked, and I really am discouraged. There is a part of me that really truly believes it is utterly pointless to try, and I just have to have a body that I hate until I fall over dead one day. Like, that's a hard way to live. So we just turn our back on it. So part of helping people heal is helping them turn back towards and say, wow, that is such a difficult way to live. And I don't have a solution. But what I can do is I can open up to love and mercy for the part of me that thinks that I am stuck with just suffering through and never being able to live the way I want. And as you bring love to that part, really help people bring love to that part. This is the process. A lot of the process work we do is about helping people we talk about working in support and finding an ideal blessing, all that kind of stuff. When we start bringing blessing to this part, and energy, you get the participant to start to bring apart this, yeah, I see that you've given up on your health. I see that you're utterly discouraged. And I see that, honestly, it's breaking you. So, and as we start to fill that person up with that love, and they start to feel the mercy and compassion and the relaxation, right? They'll reach a point where they start to see something new, right? They'll reach a point where they start to feel like, well, you know what? It actually is possible to change. Like I was working with One person, they were like, I don't want to do this because it'll be like being imprisoned. If I start taking care of my health, then it's like all I'm doing is going to the gym and spending 4 hour days cooking all this garbage food I don't like. I'm imprisoned, right? And when we started bringing love to the part that felt imprisoned, you start feeling, wait a minute, if that's not a prison, it's a foundation. I'm not in prison taking care of my health. I'm building a foundation for springing forth and building an amazing life. And this wasn't just a mental thing. He had the shift in his heart. Now, the shift that your people or you may have working on this, I don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be prison to foundation, but they'll start to feel like, you know what? It is possible. Holy smoke. When I dwell in this energy that it is possible, that maybe it isn't a prison, maybe it isn't an inevitable failure, I start to have like I see the world with a new set of eyes. I see my problem with a new set of eyes. And I'm able to start imagining moving forward, right? And around our health, I start to see, wow, just because I failed in the past doesn't mean I'm going to fail again. No, it doesn't mean that. It actually doesn't mean anything. What I start to see is I do still really long for this, and I start to feel that it is possible. And if it is possible, I'm going to start to go for it. And then we help people. Maybe they come back to the group next week or to coaching session next week. We help them some more. What worked and what didn't. Right? So I just wanted to do this real quickly to build on what I was talking about last Friday. That we actually do need to pursue better health. And the number one thing in pursuing better health, in my judgment, is facing the emotions that keep us from even looking at it. And once we start healing that, I know for me, I've lost... probably at this point, I'd lost 50 pounds, gained some back, working it again, right? But my thing is always, I'm going to lose the weight, and I'm going to lose the weight without suffering through, without struggling. And that's an emotional shift inside. So anyway, if you have comments on this, please make them. If there's anyone to share this with, I'm not going to say I'm going to save people's lives, but something like this might have really helped me years ago when I was 50 pounds overweight, start to think it was possible to change. So if there's anywhere you might want to share this with facilitators or people who might be able to use it, I really would like it if you would, because it's kind of turning into a piece of my mission to help transform this. And anyway, leave comments below. If you want my help or whatever, if you have questions about it, leave comments below. And I will talk to you all, this is Monday, so tomorrow. Bye.